Hello everybody, so today I just would like to make a short video because I received a pull request on one of my repository. So it's passcode password generator, and here if I go to pull request, indeed I have someone who did a pull request. He's not the first, he did already one pull request previously before to add a pipeline, so it's not like new on my GitHub. He is really good, and he did another very relevant pull request adding a GitHub action on one of my repository. I forgot which one it was. I think it was HTTP request. Where is that one? Just HTTP status. I think he did a pull request on that one many months ago. Yeah, it was here. Was it this one? That was about my pull. Yes, so that was about the workflow. I don't know why it resolves issue one. Oh yes, because there was an issue already. He created an issue, and so I suggested him to create a pipeline, GitHub action pipeline. So this is what he did there. This is what he meant from the issue he initially created, he initially raised on my GitHub. So I suggest you obviously to create pull requests and issues. In my case, I do it quite often on GitHub. It's a way to pay it forward, like what people like to say. So you use open source libraries, softwares, frameworks and so on, and you also contribute in return. Obviously you don't have to do it, but it's nice also for your CV. It's nice to learn more, because for the pull request you will learn a lot more. So this one, why he does this, it's because with PHP 7, since PHP 7 you can use random int instead of empty rand or rand. So rand is to have a random number, and random int, integer, is actually the secure version if you deal with passwords, for instance, because it uses cryptographically secure. So it is a cryptographically secure version. Wow, apparently I have some difficulties to say that name. It's funny. So it's cryptographic. So if you wonder what it is, it will be very hard to guess the number being generated. Really hard, because it's about the software. It's really unique. It's much more unique than rand. Random is just to give a random number, but obviously you see here it says why it's more secure. So it's slower. So usually it takes almost twice the time of if you compare empty rand and random int. I think there was a really good benchmark as well. Empty rand and random int takes twice of the time. It makes sense, but it's more secure. So you don't have to use it for everywhere, but for instance, to generate a password, it's a really good idea to use random int. So I will say excellent thanks very much for doing this. And then I will mention his name, and this one, it doesn't fix entirely the library, because I still have to fix another issue with my library. It is passcode. So, no, passcode, he does fix passcode, but not password. Because array rand, that's for array, it will still use empty rand. So it's not, so we'll have to use, I think they mentioned it here. You see, it is not actually cryptographically secure. So the value are not cryptographically secure, and it's much better if you are dealing with password to use random int. So we'll just mention that to him as well. At least he knows, and I will probably do that. I think there is one more place where we can also replace empty rent. So if you wonder what's empty rent, the difference with empty rent and rent from PHP, empty rent is like the newer version of rent. Rent is older and empty rent is much faster. So actually it says here, it's in password.php, and then I will copy paste this one. Perfect. Since it's also using perfect. So that's my comment. Beautiful. I'm sorry, sometimes I have difficulties to speak and to write at the same time. So approve and run. I will run the pipeline because there's a GitHub action pipeline here. And normally it should pass this because the result should be the same. I will just wait. And after I will create a new version. Actually, let's do it already. I'm sure it will pass the pipeline anyway. Let's not wait the pipeline to finish. In the meantime, we can already create a new version here, and after you will see the pipeline will pass. So here, I will have a new version. It will be v2.0.6. Let's create a new tag, and here, and I will do 29th November. It's actually the day of my birthday. Release. The other versions, how I was doing it. Yeah, also in parentheses like this. I will just do November like that. Perfect. And here, using so I will just do that. Passcode. You can now use this. And here, I'll use this. It now generates a thanks to random to PHP native function. And can I add a contributor? I'm just looking here. I'm not sure if we can add a contributor. No. I thought there's a way to add. I will just do, or maybe in the template contributor. Oh yes, beautiful. So we'll just do this like that. Perfect. And this is done. So now I can publish that one. Awesome. It's really nice to have a generated template, you see. So it looks really, really beautiful like that. So now I have version 2.0.6. So this is done, you see. And later I can update my libraries and others. So that's really nice. So it will be a simple, I can even change my comment, the description of the package here. A simple, secure and efficient way to generate simple, secure and efficient way to generate passcodes and passwords for you. Perfect. Beautiful. And here in the tag, I will add cryptography and cryptography like this. Awesome. You see, so easily you can just accept a PR. Now you can see my pipeline has passed. That's the pipeline I have. It will just run all the unit tests. And yeah, beautiful, lovely. So you have seen a little bit behind the scene how I approved PRs, so pull requests, and how do I review them, and why I like those, and why the PR he just raised adds a big value to the library. So usually it will be accepted right away. It's a small change and it makes sense. And also the function is only available since PHP 7, but because my library is requires at least PHP 7.3, as you can see here, and in composer.json, it's a valid change, a valid PR. So it's me again, and I wanted to shoot this video because one day later I checked again my repository passcode password generator, and actually Henry raised a new PR with what I told him. So you see again, he mentioned changelog, so it's really clear, and he said according to the reply, so my reply I wrote at the same time as I was shooting the previous video, it should use the random int indeed, because it's much more secure, because we want to have the password generated in to be cryptographically secure, and it is the case now. So what he did, he so that was the first PR he did on passcode, and I mentioned this, the suggestion in the comment there, and so he raised the new PR to also have the password class, so the password feature, to be cryptographically secure. And so if you check here, you can see he has a end key index. Why it's not in the for loop? Because you would think, oh, you can just have the count function here inside, but no, because it's a for loop, for optimization reason, it's a much better idea to have the count function outside of the loop. So you will count how many keys we have in the array. Okay, we have 20 indices, so we know at least the maximum, and then we do -1 because an array starts always by 0, so index 0 until 19 for an array of a size of 20 keys and values. So this is why it has end keys index, because we want to know the last size of the array, the last index. So we count and then we do -1. And here he mentions this there, and obviously, like I just said, an array starts always by size 0. So this is why we have these changes. So I really like it, and I will approve his PR. So I will say, looks perfect, amazing job, Henry. Peter, oh sorry, I said Henry, I think it's Peter. Henry, Peter, I don't know, to me it sounds a little bit similar, maybe because my name is P. Henry and so it's like Peter Henry, I don't know, but yeah, maybe that's why I said Henry. I'm really sorry, Peter. You are Peter, obviously. So I commented. It's always nice to thank the author, obviously, otherwise it's not really motivating. It's nice to introduce a really nice culture of always, even if the PR is not perfect, it's always important to thank a lot the person who raised the PR, because it takes time and you always have to thank the person. Sometimes you can see some people out there, they just merge your changes, they don't say anything. That's not really nice. So yeah, so this is done, and now I will create a new version here. In releases, I will just draft a new release, and the previous one was 2.0.6, and here I will just copy that one, but in our case it will be for password, because last time for 2.0.6 it was for passcode, and now it's for passwords, as you can see. Perfect. So let's do this, and here I draft a new release. I will use, so choose a tag v2.0.7. perfect. v2.0.7. I will say it's November 30th 2022, and I will use the template. The template. Perfect. And then I'll just change this to password. It also it now generates secure codes, and it generates crypto and the codes. Perfect. And I think that's it. And I will also add his name, because I don't know why it didn't get generated this time. So we'll just do new contributor like this. Perfect. I can publish now, and I can now change from contributor because he's not new anymore. He has contributed already once yesterday. Beautiful. So this is done. Amazing. And yeah, so at least you have seen now how it works. Amazing. And yeah, that's it. So I hope this video was helpful for you, and let's see in another video.